Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. If you are new here, then welcome. Please subscribe via the button below and come and join our YouTube community. And if you are returning, then welcome back. So before I begin with our Pilates class today using the Pilates Ring, just to let you know, I do have an online membership platform. It's £8.99 a month, and for that you get 5 live online classes with me every week. They're all saved, you can catch up at any point, and we have over 300 exclusive videos just for the membership area that you can come and join me on the mat on demand. So if you want any more information, then I'll put all the links and everything in the comments below. So, ready for our class today. You will require a Pilates ring. This is great to add in some extra resistance, and also it does help us have an extra supportive stretch throughout this session as well. I hope you enjoy. Let's go. So for our class today, I'm going to start seated with the length of our mat space behind us. So we're going to come to the end of the mat, and we're going to have our left leg bent with the left foot flat on the floor and our right leg straight. And with a flexed foot, I'm going to place the supported part of the circle just over my right foot here. Then I'm going to hold the other side of the circle with the right hand and just rest the left hand onto the left thigh. So let's take a moment to arrive here. Make sure we are right onto our sit bones. Imagine you've got some string pulling the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Try to find some space through the spine as we engage through the abdominals. We're going to take an exhale here, and as you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck under through the tailbone, lift the circle and the foot off the ground as you roll down onto your back. Take your time as you roll through the spine, and then the head's going to come onto the floor as I ease the right leg into a supportive hamstring stretch. And then as we lower the right leg, lift chin to the chest, eye line looks up, scoop the belly in, and then we roll ourselves all the way up to our starting position. Inhale before we lead. Exhale as we tuck under, find some space as we scoop the belly in. The left foot staying flat on the ground. We're coming into a supportive hamstring stretch. And then we're using the ring to help us as we come into our roll up. So the ring is supporting us into our roll up here. Let's take this one more time. And as you come down onto the ground, pause here with me as we find this hamstring stretch. So ease that leg in towards you. And then I'd like you to slide the left foot in a little bit closer towards the bottom. Take the left fingertips gently behind the head. And then let's find a basic abdominal crunch. So lifting the head and shoulders off the ground and scooping the belly towards the spine. Still all the while in this hamstring stretch. Peeling the left leg into tabletop so the knee comes over the hip. Whenever you are ready, we're going to take 3 leg extensions. So I breathe out, the left leg straightens to hover. Inhale as it comes back into tabletop. Twice more. Exhale, extend the left leg away, looking down towards the end of the room. Inhale as we come back. One more time here. Exhale, extend, draw the belly to the spine. Inhale, bend that knee in, place the foot down onto the ground as the head comes down too. Slide that left foot a little bit further away from you as the left hand goes to the thigh. And then we roll up, pressing into the circle, lifting the head and shoulders and coming to our starting position. Dropping the left knee out to the side now as we replace our left hand onto the circle and take the right hand behind us. And then we're going to take a gentle twist as we ease ourselves into this practice. So gazing over the right shoulder, lengthening through the torso, but using that circle, that resistance there, to allow yourself to go deeper into this really gorgeous stretch. Let's come back through to center and get ready to do that on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to straighten the left leg, take the circle off as I bend the right, flexing the left foot so the circle can go over, and then the right hand gently rests onto the right thigh. Realign, take a breath in. Here we go. Exhale, tucking under, lifting the left leg, rolling through the spine, make some space as we come all the way up, head rests, hamstring stretch on left leg, and then pressing into the circle, chin lifts, but don't crush the chin to the chest, and find your way up to prepare. Exhale, scoop and hollow, rolling, massaging through the spine, taking a little breath in, and then exhaling as we activate through the abdominals and let the circle help us in coming up. This is the one where we're going to come down and pause, find that hamstring stretch and hold. Slide the right heel in towards the bottom slightly as the right fingers come behind the head. Carefully exhale, find an abdominal crunch to hold and prepare the right leg into tabletop. 3 single extensions. We exhale, right leg hovers. Inhale, back to table. Exhale, extend away, pull up through the thigh. Inhale, back to table. One more time here. Exhale, extend. Inhale as we bend. We place the right foot down onto the ground as well as the head. Slide the right heel a little bit further away. Right hand to thigh. And rolling ourselves back up to our seated stance. Opening up through the right hip space, holding the circle with the right hand, and carefully releasing the left so we can gaze over the left shoulder into this lovely hip opener and seated twist to begin our practice today. Beautiful job. Let's come back through to center. Release. We're going to bend both knees now. And I'm just going to have a little fidget, so there's space behind as we place the circle, the smooth ridges, into the inside of the inner thighs now. So just a little bit closer towards the hips, just above the knees. Once the circle is there, please make sure the feet are flat on the floor and the knees are parallel. So we have to kind of engage through the inner thighs here to make this circle more of an oblong shape. Reaching the arms in front of you and carefully find your way down onto your ground. Scoop the belly in, rolling through the spine. And then once the hands come onto the mat, as does the head, slide the heels in closer towards your bottom. Let's bridge roll here, team. So we exhale, imprint the spine, peel the bottom off the ground as we press through the heels. Keep those knees parallel, coming up into your bridge stance, and then ripple down through the spine. Find that length, draw the tailbone down towards the heels as the bottom touches the mat. Twice more, exhale as we lift, squeeze the bottom. Press the hands, the shoulders into the mat here. Find some space through the throat and controlling as you find your way down. Really finding that space. Last one here. Engaging through the inner thighs the whole time. So making sure we're keeping that resistance on the circle and we're not allowing the knees to open out to the side. Let's now pause with our bottoms onto the mat, sweeping both arms overhead, trying to get the backs of the hands to rest gently on the ground without flaring the rib cage. Basic crunch here. Exhale, lift head and shoulders, arms reach down by our sides, keep the resistance on the circle, and inhale as we lower back down onto the mat. Let's do that twice more. Exhale, scoop and hollow the belly, looking just slightly through the circle here as the shoulders come away from the ears. Inhaling, you lower with as much control as we go up. One more time. Exhale, scoop, breathing out. Inhaling as we lower. Now let's combine these. Leave the hands on the ground. Carefully roll yourself up into your bridge. Imprint the spine, peel up through the hips. Pause at the top of your bridge. 3 pulses of the circle. I go 1, 2, 3. Ripple down slowly. Let's find our way into basic crunch. Scoop and hollow as we come up. 3 pulses here. 1, 2, 3. Control and down. Let's go again. We're going to lift up into bridge. Hands are on the ground overhead. 3 pulses of the circle. 1, 2, 3. Carefully come down, keeping that circle oblong shape. Exhale, finding your basic crunch. Scoop, 3 pulses. 1, 2, 3. Let's do this one more time. Try and stay with me. Don't go too fast as you fatigue. Coming up into your bridge. Pause here. 1, 2, 3. Controlling as we come down, finding our way into our basic crunch here. 3 pulses. 1, 2, and 3. Carefully take the circle out whenever you are ready and find your way down onto your backs. Beautiful job. Okay, from here, taking your right leg into tabletop. Now placing the circle, the ring, just onto the right thigh and holding the other edge of the ring with the right hand. So right knee in tabletop, right hand resting onto the other side. Let's take the left fingertips carefully behind the head. Now as you basic crunch, I'd like you to lift up and push your right hand into the circle, but don't let the right thigh move. And then inhale as you lower. Exhale as we lift. Inhale as we lower. Now you're really pressing the circle here. Try and push the ring into the thigh, push the thigh into the ring. So there's lots of energy going on around the ring, but we're not moving the arm or the leg as such. Let's see if we can come up and hold. So find that crunch and hold. Keep that resistance on, then lift the left leg into tabletop. 3 single extensions. We straighten the left leg for 1. Inhale, draw it in. Keep pressing into the circle. Keep pressing into that ring for 2. Scoop and hollow that belly. Let's do this one more time for 1. And then slowly place the left leg down onto the ground. Now, as you take your head down, we're going to take the circle off. Now I'm actually going to change the positioning and place the circle underneath my right foot. So now my right foot's on top of one of the ridges and the other ridge is on the ground. Reset the head and shoulders, arms down by your sides. Now we're going to press into the circle. So I'm applying some pressure into the circle here with the right leg. Can you see I'm squeezing it? So it's hopefully not a circular shape. It's more of an oblong shape now. Keep engaging through the belly. We exhale as we float the left leg up to reach towards the ceiling. Inhale as you gently tap the left toes back onto the ground. Exhale, extend the left leg up, reaching towards the ceiling. Inhale as you tap it back down on the ground. One more time, reach and lengthen. Pause here. Are you still pressing into that circle and pressing the hands into the ground? Now I'm going to bend the left leg, try and extend it and reach through the circle. Bit of coordination here. Inhale as you bend the knee, take it back up to the ceiling. Twice more. Exhale, bend the knee, extend and reach the left leg through the circle. Bend the knee as we take it back up to the ceiling. One more time. Keep pushing into that circle, into the ring with the right foot. And then take the left leg all the way back up. Gently place the left leg down onto the ground. Hold that foot, right foot here as is. Find your way into an abdominal crunch. Reach the arms down by your sides. And we pulse the arms. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Think of the hundreds. I'm trying to lengthen and reach down towards the end of the mat. And imagine you've got 2 little basketballs underneath your hands. You're bouncing them up and down on the ground, keeping the upper body stable, engaging through the abdominals and still pressing into that ring. Hamstring is burning. We stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to bring the head down. I'm going to take this ring up and over so we can take a supported hamstring stretch onto the right hand side. So right foot into the circle. Exhale as you let the head, the shoulders rest into the ground and guide that right leg in towards you. Make sure there's no pressure through the bottom or the left foot here. Maybe even straightening and extending the left leg onto the ground at the same time, seeing if we can go a little bit deeper into this hamstring stretch. After that hamstring sequence with the foot on top of the circle, it's quite nice to then use the ring to lengthen it out. Okay, let's take that on the other side. So bending the left leg, taking the right leg out, reset both feet onto the ground. Once you're ready, left leg prepares into tabletop. The circle, the ring goes onto the left thigh, and then the left hand onto the other side. Right hand gently resting behind the head, and we press into the ring, remember. Exhale as we take a crunch, press, apply a little bit of pressure here, and inhale as we lower. Exhale as we come up, press, 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 squeeze, 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 and inhale as we lower. So elbow is wide on the right hand side, and you're sliding the ribs down towards the hips so we don't flare the rib cage. Let's come up and hold. Find that resistance. Right leg comes to tabletop. Extend the right leg for 3. Inhale back in. We've got 2 more. Keep pressing into that resistance. One more time. And then carefully place the right foot down. The head is coming down too. The circle comes out. We place the ring underneath the left foot now. Make sure your ring is level, so it's not on the wonky donk. Arms are going to come down by our sides. Now apply some pressure. Left foot's pushing down. And you'll feel the back of the left thigh switching on straight away. Here, we're going to float the right leg up to the ceiling. Extend. Inhale, let's gently tap the right toes to the ground. Exhale as we float up, keeping that core control. Zipping up through the pubic bone whilst we're here and finding that length through the spine. Now the right leg bends, threads through the ring as we extend, and then bends and comes back up. So a little bit of play here as we take the right leg, try and thread it through the circle without looking. So a little bit of coordination going on while still pressing into the ring with the left foot. Let's then slowly bend the right leg, place the right leg down onto the mat, lift into our abdominal crunch as we reach down towards our feet and we pulse the arms. So there's little basketballs again underneath our hands, trying not to pulse the chest up and down. I am actually trying to keep my left leg stable, but you might see it moving a little bit as it starts to shake on the camera. So I'm pushing left foot into the ring, but the leg's having a little bounce of its own here. Scooping in, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head and shoulders down. Let's take that circle up and over for our hamstring stretch with the left foot in, easing that left leg in towards you, softening through the head and shoulders. Possibly sliding the right leg away if that's available for you. No rush if it's not. There's no judgment here. Just grabbing this opportunity, like I say, to allow this ring to let you go deeper into a supported stretch. Okay, let's bend the right leg, take the left leg out, and we'll roll over onto our left side when you're ready. So let's come over onto our left side, and we're going to place our feet inside the circle now. So kind of around my ankle area, legs are straight, and I'm going to place both feet inside the circle. Now you have to press into the circle now, so trying to take your feet away from each other as such, and then come right on top of your left hip. Don't roll back onto your bottom cheek. So we want to be in our pure side series here. You can rest the right hand on the ground in front of you. We're going to exhale as we lift both legs up and inhale as we lower. Exhale as we lift, inhale as we lower. Once you've got your bearings with this, pulling up through the thighs, making sure you're not rolling backwards, you may be able to bring the right hand gently behind the head as well. This is going to switch on through the deep core muscles more because you're having to stabilize. So keep pushing into the circle. So you're fighting that resistance now, and you'll feel it through the outside of the hips now, this one. Okay, so we're starting to work around the outside of the glutes. Let's lift and hold for a pulse. So we're not going to touch the ground now. Up and up. So no rolling backwards, no rolling forwards, purely working into this side series here as we pulse the legs up and up. Really trying to find that space still as you reach the feet away from the head here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we can place the circle down. Use your right hand to bring yourself up onto your left forearm. Okay, so I'm now on the left forearm. Gonna exhale as we roll onto the bottom. Try to tap the middle of the ring with your right hand, and then control as you come back onto the side series. You can touch the ground with the circle. Okay, exhaling, still pressing into that circle. Really switch on through the glutes here as you keep opening those feet apart from one another. We've got 2 more. Nice and slow here with me. Last one. And then carefully you're going to bend the knees, bring yourself up onto your left hip, and then as your right hand gently rests on the circle, we take a supported side reach as we look underneath the left arm. Let's now take this onto our right side. So coming over onto your right hip, remember we're placing Both feet inside the circle. So I'm just going to come onto the ridges with both feet here. We're coming down all the way onto our sides first. Have a little fidget to get yourself there. And then either you can place your left hand on the ground or straight away behind the head. Exhaling as we lift up. Inhaling as we lower. So it takes a minute to get our bearings here. Make sure we're zipping up through the pubic bone, squeezing through the glutes and pulling up through the thighs. Make sure there's some space through the throat here, so eye line's looking forwards. And we're trying not to roll backwards or forwards so that we are working the side of the body. And as you keep pressing into the circle, you're going to feel the outside of the hips switching on, which is really great to support our hip joints. Yeah, working on supporting our skeletal system. Using that exhale because it will help the muscles relax and lengthen as we engage them. Let's see if we can pulse. So that means we stay active, lift and lift. Tiny little pulses here, trying not to let the ring come down onto the ground at all. Obviously, if it gets too much at any point, take a rest. Yes, it's your class. This is your time here to move and listen to your body. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now I'm going to place the left hand down so I can come onto the right forearm. Then we're going to drop back. So come onto the bottom so I can roll back and get to my circle, my ring, and then come back onto the right hip. So 2 different poses as I come onto the bottom cheeks, and then I shift up and over onto the right hip. Press away from that forearm. Exhale back, keep pressing into that circle. I know there's so much to think about. Last one here, press it back. And then pause as you come forward. Nice, bending the knees, coming over onto your right hip now, so the left hand can rest on the circle. And we take a gorgeous breath into the right side of the body as we pause here. Okay, let's find our way onto all fours. Okay, so just taking a moment to come onto your hands and your knees. And then I'm going to place the left hand on top of the circle and the right hand underneath the right shoulder. So we're into an all fours stance, eye lines looking slightly forwards, and both knees are underneath our hips. From here, think of our pointer pose, okay? So I'm pressing into the circle, always having that little fight against that resistance, if you will. And then exhaling as we reach and lengthen, lifting the right leg. Inhale as we slide and place it back down. So the right leg extends and lifts. And then inhale as you bend. So eye lines looking slightly forwards. Try to keep the shoulders over the wrist and over the circle. And you're pressing into that circle. My left arm starts to shake a little bit as I do so. Same alignment as a mat-based class. Don't lift the right leg too high and don't let the right hip poke out to the side. Engaging through the core here. Let's extend and hold. Right leg extends. Now you're going to pulse the right leg up and up. Everything else is staying still. Just keep pumping that right leg up, up. Lengthen. Squeeze the glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hold the right leg still. Pulse the left hand down like you're using a hand pump. Push and push. Keep the right leg lifted. Keep pushing the hand down, down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that right knee in. Well done. Let's take a supported child's pose. So my ring goes into the center of the mat. Both hands on top, and then carefully find your way back to a child's pose. Soften the bottom towards the heels, and because the arms are lifted, they're elevated, you can let the chest fall down between the arms here. Take a lovely, gorgeous breath into the back chain of the body, and exhale, sink a little deeper here into your child's pose. Wonderful. Let's repeat that pointer on the other side, okay? So the circle goes underneath the right hand, left hand's coming underneath the shoulder. Lengthen through the spine, engage through the core. Slight pressure into the ring here. Exhale, lengthen the left leg and lift. And then bending the knee and resets. So really trying to keep that control, both hips Like car headlamps, they're pointing down towards the ground. Spread the fingers wide on the left hand and try not to collapse into that left shoulder. Using that exhale and always applying a little bit of pressure into that resistance of the ring here, as that's what helps us really get deep into all of those micro muscles here, adding that extra bit of spice into your class. Let's lift and lengthen that left leg. Pump the left leg up and up. Try not to collapse into the lower back. So if anything, maybe make the movement a little bit smaller here as you lift and lift. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the left leg, push your right arm down, down, down. How much can you squidge into that circle? Keep pushing and pushing. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the left knee in, supported child's pose once again, as both hands rest slightly, gently on top of the circle, and you give yourself permission to exhale as you float back. Really good job. Well done. One last breath here. And then carefully just take the hands off of the ring and take a traditional mat child's pose here as you reach the arms forwards and allow the forehead to come down towards the ground. Breathing into the lungs in the back of the body and extending through both sides of the body whilst we're here. Let's carefully walk our hands in. So we're in a kneeling posture now. So just sitting onto the heels as we kneel here. I'm going to take the circle behind the back now. So holding it into both hands. And this is simply to open up through our chest, a lovely shoulder stretch. So when you're ready, take an exhale as you lift the arms off the back, eye lines looking slightly forwards, and just try to find that wonderful stretch across the chest as you slide the shoulders down away from the ears. Lift the arms a little bit higher if it's available for you today. No pressure here. And then carefully bring the circle in and just place the circle down. Let's bring our hands onto the mat in front of us so we can tuck our toes under. Carefully peel the knees off the floor and find your way into a standing forward fold. Let the knees bend, taking hold of your forearms here as you simply let the body dangle. So don't overthink it. Bend the knees as generously as you need to. Possibly even take a soft sway through the hips here, nothing forced. Ensuring you're releasing and letting go through the head and the shoulders. And then on your next exhale, releasing the arms, pressing through the feet, keeping the chin on the chest as you rebuild your posture, block by block. Think of Lego as you restack the spine, and then roll the shoulders away from the ears as you stack the head over the heart. Take a wonderful breath in as you reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, and exhale as you bring the arms all the way down. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today. Like I say, please subscribe. It'd be great to have you join our community, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat again very soon.